Hello, graceful Libra. As July 17th gently unfolds into the 18th, you may notice that life is asking less of you to rush forward and more of you to pause long enough to recognize what is quietly changing within. These next 2 days invite you to discover balance, not by controlling every outcome, but by paying attention to the calm spaces between your thoughts, where your inner wisdom has always been waiting to speak. Like the Justice card resting steadily in the center of the table, this moment encourages you to restore harmony within yourself before seeking it anywhere else. If you find yourself drawn to moments of silence, a familiar place, or even the reflection of morning light across still water, don't dismiss those experiences as ordinary. They may simply remind you to notice what has been overlooked beneath the surface. You could find yourself recognizing meaningful patterns, recurring numbers, or small coincidences that encourage reflection rather than certainty. Instead of treating them as predictions, allow them to become gentle reminders that your intuition often understands what your mind is only beginning to consider. Temperance suggests that healing now comes through patience instead of urgency. Rather than carrying old disappointments into every new experience, give yourself permission to acknowledge them with compassion before allowing them to settle peacefully into the past. Gratitude doesn't erase difficult memories, but it creates enough room for hope to return. A thoughtful conversation, a quiet walk through nature, or a peaceful moment alone may restore more of your spirit than you expect. Over these 2 days, consider making space for reflection through journaling, meditation, or simply sitting with your own thoughts without feeling the need to solve everything immediately. The younger part of you, the one that still believes beauty can be found in simple moments, may have something important to reveal. Listen carefully to what your heart continues to revisit, because those recurring feelings often point toward places where understanding is still unfolding and where deeper healing can quietly begin. Growth may feel less like reaching the top of a mountain and more like crossing a bridge, one careful step at a time. Every thoughtful decision, every healthy boundary, and every act of self-respect strengthens the foundation beneath you. Even if the future remains partially hidden, trust that you are not falling behind your own path. Your intuition continues to guide you toward greater peace, stronger relationships, and a life that reflects your authentic values more clearly with each passing day. Before we continue, it's important to remember that this reading reflects collective energies rather than fixed outcomes. Some parts may resonate deeply with your present experience, while others may simply offer ideas to reflect on for another time. Allow your own discernment to decide what feels meaningful for you, because every person moves through life's seasons at a different pace. Let these insights serve as gentle companions for reflection, never as absolute truth. Thank you for spending these moments here. As we continue, we'll explore how these quiet shifts may influence your relationships, your financial decisions, your overall well-being, and the connections that matter most to your heart over the days ahead. Before we explore the deeper themes surrounding your relationships, career, and personal well-being, I'd like to share a few symbolic details that may accompany you throughout July 17th and 18th. If these reflections bring you comfort or clarity, consider showing your support with a like. Your encouragement helps this community continue growing into a place where thoughtful conversations and meaningful guidance can be shared. The numbers 17 and 18 may stand out to you over these 2 days. Rather than seeing them as guarantees, treat them as gentle reminders to pause and notice what feels more balanced or aligned in your life when they appear. The color that best reflects this energy is soft rose, a shade often associated with harmony, compassion, and quiet confidence. Surrounding yourself with this color, whether through clothing or small everyday details, may simply serve as a personal reminder to approach each situation with both grace and self-respect. If you've been waiting for a project to gain momentum, you may be wondering why progress still feels slower than expected. Instead of seeing the delay as failure, consider the possibility that this is a period for refinement rather than completion. Some opportunities require stronger foundations before they can truly flourish, especially those involving contracts, negotiations, legal matters, or careful planning. Continue moving forward one thoughtful step at a time, trusting that patience often creates opportunities that hurried decisions would overlook. Your attention may also be drawn toward the people you consider family, whether they share your name or simply share your heart. Over these 2 days, you may notice how naturally you step into the role of mediator, supporter, or trusted advisor. While your kindness is one of your greatest strengths, balance asks an important question. Are you offering help because it is truly needed, or because you feel responsible for carrying burdens that no longer belong to you? Sometimes genuine love is expressed not by doing more, but by allowing others the dignity of growing through their own experiences. Healthy relationships thrive when care is balanced with healthy boundaries. If someone close to you has become accustomed to relying on your guidance, this may be the perfect opportunity to gently step back and trust their ability to make their own choices. Releasing unnecessary responsibility does not weaken your connection, it often strengthens it. As you create more space for your own well-being, you may discover a quiet sense of peace, replacing the weight you've been carrying. Take a few moments during these 2 days to reconnect with your own center. You might visualize a warm, steady light radiating from your solar plexus, expanding with every slow breath. Let that light remind you of 2 simple truths. I am enough, and I deserve balance as much as I offer it to others. Confidence built from self-awareness is far more enduring than confidence built from constant achievement. The symbolic energy surrounding this period reflects resilience, expressed through calm discernment rather than force. Libra's natural ability to consider different perspectives becomes one of your greatest strengths now, helping you navigate situations that once felt emotionally complicated. Trust your instincts when something feels subtly out of alignment, but resist the urge to react immediately. Observation often reveals more than confrontation ever could. The moon invites you to notice hidden emotions or quiet tensions that may be influencing the people around you. You may become aware of subtle misunderstandings, unspoken expectations, or the lingering effects of jealousy or comparison within familiar circles. Rather than assuming the worst, allow yourself time to observe with compassion and clarity. Like moonlight reflected across still water, truth often becomes easier to recognize when the surface is calm. The star reminds you that your greatest source of influence comes from the peace you cultivate within yourself. Whether you spend time creating something beautiful, caring for your well-being, or simply enjoying moments that restore your spirit, these choices gradually strengthen your emotional resilience. The more your daily life reflects your authentic values, the less outside opinions have the power to disturb your sense of self. Finally, justice brings the theme of balance back to the center of this reading. It suggests that every relationship, decision, and effort naturally seeks equilibrium over time. If you've already done the difficult inner work of releasing resentment and choosing integrity, there is little need to force outcomes or seek validation. Continue acting with honesty, fairness, and quiet confidence, trusting that what is truly meant to find balance eventually will. Justice continues to remind you that balance has a quiet way of restoring itself, even when you cannot immediately see it happening. If you've acted with integrity and remained true to your values, there is little need to spend your energy trying to correct every misunderstanding or respond to every challenge. Situations in your professional or personal life may gradually settle as people begin to recognize what has always been genuine about your intentions. Rather than seeking immediate validation, allow your consistency to speak for itself and let fairness unfold in its own time. These next 2 days also encourage thoughtful conversations that create clarity instead of conflict. Libra, your natural gift for seeing different perspectives, can become one of your greatest strengths now, especially if a relationship or workplace dynamic has felt uncertain. Honest communication, paired with respectful boundaries, can restore harmony without requiring anyone to lose their voice. Sometimes peace is not created by avoiding difficult conversations, but by approaching them with calm confidence and genuine compassion. The Two of Cups brings a gentle current of emotional connection, inviting relationships to deepen through mutual understanding rather than grand gestures. If you are already close to someone, this may be a meaningful opportunity to rediscover the qualities that first brought you together. If a new connection is beginning to unfold, you may notice a sense of ease that feels both comforting and sincere. Rather than questioning every possibility, Allow trust to grow naturally through shared experiences and honest conversation. Someone entering your life or returning with a renewed perspective may now carry greater emotional maturity than before. What matters most is not perfection, but the willingness to meet one another with openness, accountability, and respect. Relationships built on shared values often develop more steadily than those driven only by excitement, and these 2 days invite you to appreciate that quiet strength. Give yourself permission to receive the same care and understanding that you so naturally offer to others. The Wheel of Fortune suggests that movement is beginning where things may have previously felt delayed, particularly in your work and financial life. Rather than expecting dramatic overnight change, look for opportunities that develop through good timing, thoughtful partnerships, or decisions that strengthen your long-term stability. Your ability to bring people together, negotiate fairly, and recognize balanced solutions may open doors that once seemed firmly closed. Progress may arrive gradually, but it has the potential to be more sustainable because of the careful foundation you have been building. Projects that once appeared stalled could begin showing subtle signs of momentum. A conversation, an invitation, or a fresh perspective may reveal possibilities that were easy to overlook before. Continue refining your ideas with patience instead of rushing toward immediate results. The confidence you build through preparation will often become more valuable than any shortcut. Your physical and emotional well-being deserve the same attention you generously offer everyone else. If worry, lingering guilt, or mental exhaustion has been quietly following you, this is a meaningful time to restore balance through consistent self-care rather than extremes. Adequate rest, healthy routines, and moments of genuine relaxation can help you regain clarity. If sleep has become difficult or persistent stress feels overwhelming, reaching out for professional support is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. You may also discover that speaking honestly with someone you trust lightens emotional burdens you have been carrying alone. Libra often seeks harmony by protecting others from discomfort, yet your own feelings deserve space as well. Opening your heart to someone who listens with compassion can bring relief and remind you that vulnerability often strengthens relationships instead of weakening them. In your professional life, moments of frustration may simply be asking you to adjust your expectations rather than question your abilities. Temporary delays do not erase the value of your work or the dedication you've invested. Continue developing your skills, refining your plans, and remaining open to collaboration. Over time, those consistent efforts could become the very foundation of the independence and stability you have been working toward. Financial growth is supported by thoughtful decisions rather than impulsive ones. Reviewing your spending habits, exploring additional sources of income, or investing in skills that strengthen your future may prove more rewarding than waiting for a single breakthrough. Sustainable abundance is often built one wise decision at a time, and these 2 days encourage you to trust that steady progress has its own quiet power. If you are searching for new career opportunities, remain open to paths that may not have been part of your original plan. Your ability to adapt without losing sight of your values could become a meaningful advantage during interviews, applications, and new professional conversations. Careful preparation, attention to detail, and confidence in your own experience may help you recognize opportunities that align more closely with the balanced future you hope to create. As these 2 days unfold, your efforts are far more likely to create meaningful progress than you may realize today. Rather than expecting instant results, trust that the care you've invested in your work, your relationships, and your personal growth is gradually creating opportunities that can stand the test of time. The energy surrounding July 17th and 18th favors thoughtful preparation, making success feel less like luck and more like the natural outcome of consistent intention. Your financial landscape may also begin to feel lighter as situations that once seemed tangled slowly become easier to navigate. If you've experienced subtle competition, misunderstanding, or circumstances that delayed your progress, those influences may begin losing their hold. Instead of focusing on what once blocked your path, notice where new possibilities quietly begin to appear. Sometimes abundance arrives not through dramatic change, but through a series of well-timed decisions that reveal doors you hadn't noticed before. The Wheel of Fortune suggests movement, but in this reading it speaks less about sudden miracles and more about meaningful momentum. A professional conversation, an unexpected collaboration, or a resource that had previously been overlooked could begin shifting your perspective on what is possible. Libra's natural ability to build trust and encourage cooperation becomes one of your greatest advantages now, allowing opportunities to develop through relationships as much as through individual effort. Your willingness to approach challenges with fairness and patience also strengthens your professional reputation. Others may increasingly recognize the quality of your work, your ability to bring balance into difficult situations, and the thoughtful way you contribute to shared goals. Continue investing in projects that genuinely reflect your values, because work rooted in authenticity often attracts the most lasting rewards. Every lesson you've learned over recent months has quietly prepared you for this next stage of growth. The idea of karmic balance also carries an important reminder. You do not need to spend your energy worrying about people who once questioned your intentions or created unnecessary obstacles. Their choices belong to their own journey. Your task is simply to continue moving forward with integrity, allowing your attention to remain on your own development rather than on past conflicts. That shift in focus creates space for greater stability, both emotionally and materially. If inspiration leads you toward a new idea, a creative project, or an opportunity to expand your skills, don't dismiss it too quickly. Curiosity paired with careful planning may open unexpected paths over these 2 days. Progress is likely to come through balanced decisions rather than impulsive risks, giving you the confidence to build something that grows steadily instead of fading quickly. Trust that each thoughtful step strengthens your future, even if the full picture has not yet appeared. When it comes to love, this period gently encourages you to release the weight of old disappointments, rather than carrying them into every new conversation. If a relationship has brought genuine happiness before, allow those meaningful memories to remind you why the connection mattered, instead of allowing temporary conflicts to define the entire story. Long-lasting partnerships are rarely built on perfection. They are strengthened through understanding, forgiveness, and the willingness to keep choosing one another with honesty. For those who have recently experienced tension with a partner, these 2 days offer an opportunity to restore balance through sincere communication. Before asking the other person to change, take a quiet moment to reflect on your own perspective as well. Relationships often soften when both people feel heard rather than judged. A simple acknowledgement of your own mistakes can create far more healing than waiting for someone else to make the first move. Libra naturally seeks harmony, yet genuine harmony is not created by avoiding difficult conversations. It grows when both people feel safe enough to speak honestly while remaining respectful of each other's experiences. If reconciliation is possible, let it begin with openness instead of pride. Shared understanding has the power to dissolve tensions that once seemed impossible to resolve. If you're single, your heart may become more receptive to someone whose presence feels calm, genuine, and emotionally grounded. This connection may already exist quietly within your circle, or it may begin through an ordinary moment that gradually becomes more meaningful over time. Rather than trying to impress everyone, allow your authentic warmth to be what draws the right people closer. The most promising connections often begin with ease, mutual respect, and conversations that leave both hearts feeling understood. These 2 days carry a gentle invitation to remain open without rushing, hopeful without forcing, and confident without pretending to have every answer. Sometimes the most meaningful beginnings arrive with remarkable simplicity, asking only that you meet them with an open heart and the quiet confidence that comes from truly knowing yourself. If someone you've been hoping to spend time with reaches out over these 2 days, whether it's for coffee, a walk, a video call, or simply an honest conversation, and it genuinely feels right to you, don't let unnecessary hesitation stand in the way. There is a difference between protecting your heart and keeping it closed, and these 2 days invite you to recognize that difference with greater clarity. Sometimes the most meaningful moments begin with a simple yes, offered without overthinking every possible outcome. Not every invitation is meant to change your life. But even the smallest shared experience can remind you how naturally connection grows when you allow yourself to be present, instead of trying to predict what comes next. Life often unfolds through ordinary invitations that quietly become unforgettable memories, revealing their significance only after you've chosen to embrace them. Your family life also carries a gentle opportunity for greater understanding during this period, whether family means the people you were born into or the people you've chosen along the way. Conversations may become more open as old misunderstandings begin to soften. Libra's natural ability to listen before reacting can help transform tension into mutual respect, especially when others simply need to feel heard rather than corrected. Even small acts of kindness or shared moments may remind everyone that connection grows strongest when people feel seen and appreciated. A familiar routine, a shared meal, or a quiet conversation could become the setting where unspoken feelings finally find a safe place to surface, allowing warmth to replace assumptions that may have lingered for longer than anyone realized. If certain relationships have felt complicated, these 2 days encourage compassionate boundaries rather than emotional distance. You don't have to sacrifice your own peace in order to preserve harmony, and true balance is never built through silent self-sacrifice alone. In fact, genuine harmony often begins when everyone is given the space to grow as individuals, while remaining connected through trust and respect. Honest conversations, shared experiences, or simply spending quality time together may create new traditions that strengthen your relationships for years to come. Boundaries expressed with kindness are not walls that separate people. They are clear pathways that allow love and respect to move more freely between both sides. There is also a quiet sense that unresolved emotions within your family circle can gradually move toward healing. You may find yourself acting as a calming presence, helping others feel heard without taking responsibility for solving every problem yourself. That distinction is important, because offering support does not require carrying burdens that belong to someone else. Vulnerability, when offered with wisdom, becomes a bridge rather than a weakness. By allowing authenticity to replace defensiveness, you help create an atmosphere where understanding can naturally flourish, making it easier for everyone involved to approach one another with greater patience and compassion. Your overall energy during July 17th and 18th feels steady, although moments of worry or self-doubt may occasionally return. Those thoughts may appear unexpectedly, especially during quieter moments, but they don't have to determine the direction of your day. When they arise, gently redirect your attention toward what you are building instead of what you fear. Picture the future you hope to create, not as a distant dream, but as something taking shape, one thoughtful decision at a time. Every balanced choice you make today quietly supports the life you want tomorrow, reminding you that lasting progress is usually created through consistency rather than dramatic breakthroughs. Be especially mindful of the way you speak to yourself. Harsh self-criticism rarely creates meaningful growth, and expecting perfection from yourself only makes the journey heavier than it needs to be. Notice the difference between honest self-reflection and unnecessary self-judgment. One helps you grow, while the other quietly drains your confidence. You already possess many of the qualities you're searching for, even if you don't always recognize them in yourself. Give yourself permission to acknowledge your progress with the same compassion you would naturally offer someone you love, because the relationship you build with yourself becomes the foundation for every other relationship in your life. For students or anyone focused on learning, these 2 days are well suited for planning the next chapter of your education or professional development. You may feel inspired to research new programs, explore future opportunities, or consider changes that better reflect your long-term goals. This is also an excellent time to organize ideas, refine plans, and ask thoughtful questions before making important commitments. Even if your path is still unfolding, thoughtful preparation now can create greater confidence in the decisions you make later. Every skill you strengthen today becomes part of a much larger foundation that will continue supporting you long after these 2 days have passed. Astrologically, some interactions may feel especially supportive during this period. Connections with Virgo could encourage honest conversations and practical solutions, helping you bring structure to ideas that have been waiting for direction. time spent with Aquarius may inspire fresh perspectives and collaborative ideas, opening your mind to possibilities you hadn't previously considered. Meanwhile, Pisces can bring emotional understanding, compassion, and meaningful spiritual reflection, encouraging conversations that nourish both the heart and the imagination. Rather than seeing compatibility as certainty, simply notice which relationships encourage you to feel more balanced, understood, and authentically yourself. Those are often the connections that quietly contribute to your growth. As we bring this reflection to a close, remember that astrology is best approached as a source of perspective rather than a set of fixed outcomes. Sometimes taking a few quiet moments to observe your thoughts and the patterns unfolding around you is enough to reveal a new way forward. Symbols, planetary movements, and tarot archetypes can offer meaningful insight, but their greatest value lies in helping you become more aware of your own choices and inner wisdom. No card, symbol, or planetary influence has greater power than the decisions you make each day. You remain the author of your own story, shaping your future through every thoughtful decision, every act of courage, and every moment you choose to act in alignment with your values. If these reflections brought you encouragement or helped you see your path a little more clearly, thank you for supporting this space with a like. Your encouragement allows these conversations to continue reaching people who may also be seeking clarity, hope, or a moment of peaceful reflection. And if you'd like to continue exploring thoughtful astrology, symbolism, and daily reflections together, you're warmly invited to subscribe and turn on notifications so we can continue this journey. Thank you for sharing your time here, and may the days ahead bring you lasting peace, quiet confidence, meaningful connections, and the kind of balance that allows your inner light to shine naturally wherever life leads you next.